Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to be the monkey tool time. Need a tool, make a tool. Okay, so everybody I hopefully seen where the Squeeze-O-Matic 600 just wasn't up to the task. So I'm going to have to build a Squeeze-O-Matic 900, something that will take the big knives. So now, I thought I would show this process to you and what you're going to need to make your very own Squeeze-O-Matic 900. Now, you don't necessarily have to have everything that I've got, but it helps, and it's fairly inexpensive. I mean, really, probably less than 10 bucks. So, you know, you could use bar clamps and stuff like that, but you can't get even pressure. And I say you need pressure a little more on one side than you do the other and whatever like that. That's where this Squeeze-O-Matic 900 is going to come into play a lot. Now, on the 600, this arm slides up and down. This right here, this white stuff on here, it happens to be from an old cutting board. And I'm sure that you can get one from your wife, your girlfriend, your sweetheart, your grandma, your mom, your great-grandma. Do it quickly, or in your great-grandma, she'll hurt you if she catches you. So anyway, and you need a couple of boards. This is a 5/4 board, which means it's 1 inch thick. You can use a 2x4, totally up to you, and that's what I have, is a 2x4. This right here is a 2x2 with it screwed on top of it. Now, this one has, I just buried nuts down in the bottom of it, just regular nuts. I just tightened them up and they just pull right in. So then I put the lock nuts, I put a nut up on top to lock them in, right there in the washer. So that makes them set solid. Then there's a length of rod. I could have simply changed these rods and used this again and made it whatever I wanted, but there is instances where I may have 2 or 3 that I need to glue up that are, you know, a hidden tang knife, and they have antler handles on them. So I figured the need's there, so I might as well, since this one didn't fit the bill on this one, but it'll do the rest of it, the shorter knives. So I figured I might as well just go ahead and make another one. So I'm going to take you along with that. Now, right here in the bottom of this hole, right here in the bottom of this board right here, is a recess. Like this right here. This is a hole saw. This happens to be a 2-inch hole saw, and I'm going to utilize this. It's not as good on this, but for what I'm going to do on the Squeeze-O-Matic 900 is I'm going to put some foam in it so that it will help hold and conform to the bottom. And sometimes I find the need that I need to put shims under this, in this hole right here, to hold a knife handle, say. Okay, well, let's say this one right here. You know, it's angled. Sometimes it just don't set in there just right, and you have to shim it to hold it straight. The foam in there, especially this hard foam that I got my Kydex press made out of, will help hold it straight and everything where you want it. It'll hold it better than shims, I think. So I'm going to try that. If I don't like it, I can take it out, because I'm not going to glue it. This is 2-inch hole saw. Now, naturally, you'll need some sort of saw, unless you've got a pet beaver in your pocket. So anyway, you can do everything with a hacksaw. You can cut the wood, everything else. It's totally optional what you do. You can use a skill saw, power tools, hand saw. I just don't happen to have one in here now for that. So, but I do have power saws, so that's what I used. Used a skill saw to cut my wood up. Here it is on the table. Now, I probably should have got more things together than what I just did, but I didn't. So let me just zero in and then see tell you what I've got. Okay, now I have 4 stainless steel bugle head screws that happen to be Phillips. Why stainless steel? I had stainless steel. That's why. Could have used the bugle head drywall screws. Not a problem. I think that's what the other one is. And then I used this right here. This darn. I can't even think of the name of it. Doggone it. I got lost. Anyway, countersink. I'll get it in a minute or two. Countersink. Use this countersink to put it down. Lord have mercy. Okay, I have 4 3/8 18 nuts. You feel free to use fine thread if you've got it, and you can get the nuts and everything else for the fine thread. It don't even have to be 3/8, but I like 3/8. I have 4 flat washers, also 3/8. Okay, then I have 2 3/8. They're called T-nuts. Is what they're called. They pull up into the wood, and the claws keep them from doing that. And this fills it up, and you can run the end of it and kind of paint it over or not. So these are what goes in the bottom. These 2 3/8 T-nuts. Now, for the boards, I have a 2x4. How long is it? I have no idea. I just cut it. Here I have a 2 by 1.5 block of wood. It happens to be the same length because I cut them. Well, they're virtually the same length. And then cut part of it off. This happens to be it's plastic. And it's a really durable plastic. Actually, it was part of a hot tub. The whole thing was plastic. The inside, the outside, everything. And this is off of one of the access doors that was on it. Okay, so I made that. It's pretty thick. But this is plastic. And glue, I hadn't found any glue that'll stick to this. I tried it. I toyed with the idea of making some knife handles with it, but no, that didn't work. But anyway, I've got the corners drilled and countersunk right here. And they go on this right here. So now, since these are a little bit bigger than the 1/8 drill bit, these look like about a number 10 screws, I'm going to go ahead and run a 1/8 pilot bit down through there. I'm going to run this pilot hole down through there, in there, just for that. Okay. Oh, yes, and you will need a drill. It don't have to be a cordless one, but hey, like they say, smoke them if you got them. Now, that, and take Phillips bit right there. Now, before I get too started, get all this cleaned up. Okay, there's the holes. Here's this. Okay, I got 4 screws. They're stainless steel. They're going to be pretty slick. But I don't really have any. Wish I had some soap out here. Soap works wonders. It helps slick the holes up, especially when you're close to the edge like this. It helps it go in without it being like busting out as bad. Sometimes they'll still do it, but with this green polishing rouge, it will get, it ought to get pretty good. Alright, there's that is. So yep. Okay, that may pull down a little tight. That's okay. Be fine. There it is. Now, what I have to do right now is I have to put this right there. And what did my pencil get off to? There's pins. There it is. That's just kind of right there. And I will do 1 inch. Very nice. Now, and 3/4 and 1 inch. Okay. So 7/8. And 3/4. Okay. Let's take this, all of this, and go over to the drill press. I'll get you over there when I get set up. Okay, I'm going to drill this out a little bit right here. So, get this, put the pilot bit right there. Perfect. Now, let's take this. All right. Now, Take this off. Okay. Now, okay, take this, okay, right there, and let me get a clamp and put on it. Now I'll come back. Okay, I didn't have a clamp, not big enough for this, so what I'm going to resort to is screws. So I take that, put that right there, do that without breaking anything. Okay, do the same thing, but right there. There we go. So long it. Okay, that'll be fine. Now I'm going to hold them up like this and drill down through them. We'll get all the holes lined up right. Alright, back on it's over here. Okay, so now that's what we want to do right there. Okay. Now, since the throw on this is not long enough, we'll go back over here and we'll reverse the process. We'll take this and we'll back it out all the way and do the same thing on this side. Now then, that made it just fine right there. Now, did it? Yep. Not exactly the center of that, but that's okay. Now, since my setup time is so vast here, put that on there, right there, right there. Yep, didn't hurt a thing. Now then, boy, my setup time is so exhausting. Okay, I thought I had a chisel here, but no bother. No matter. I'll just do it like this. I do have a chisel here somewhere. Aha! I did have a chisel. It's a little chisel. Zoom this out. Okay, I do have a chisel. So now, right there. Oh boy. Yep, this is one of them Harbor Freight ones. Has to be. Because I flipped it and didn't make it. Okay. It's in there, it's recessed nice. Everything like that. So now, what do we have left to do? Okay, on this bottom piece there's not a whole lot more that we actually like doing, except for the T-nuts. Now I want you to drill a little bit bigger hole. You can if you want to. It helps a little bit. And let's see if I got it. But you don't want to drill it too overly big. Yeah, it's broke. But it's good enough for wood. Okay, right there. Okay. Right there's all that matters with that. Now you take your T-nut and it will start in the hole. Same thing on the other one. Now, I don't things set down in there. You just run a 3/8 bolt down in here and make sure that it's, there we go, starts pulling in. Put a washer on it, and this just happens to be that, and it will pull itself right on in there snug with. Oh, give this myself a little longer handle on it. 5/16 mm. Well, that's a good set. I'm sure they meant 8 mm. And that's in there. It'll just continue to pull on up if I was to do that, but it'd be kind of tough sometimes to do that. And so, I'd much rather I had a a 9/16 or a 14 millimeters tighten up, but this will work just as good. Now, see, that's a pretty good long ways out. The ears, the prongs are keep it from turning. Alright. Now, if it'll stay that way, and we can watch it get right on in there. Uh-oh. Now, what's it? Slip. You can get this in there good enough to start with. Okay. Okay. Got this and trimmed up there a little bit. We'll go in there. Now. Okay, there they are, both in there. They're good and snug. Wouldn't hurt if it was drove on in a little bit more, but that's okay. That will be fine. Now, let me put this back in the box here. In my 1, 2, 3 blocks. All right, now then. Now, we're going to go on to our all thread. Now, realistically, you can use them the whole 36 inches, what these are. Or you can buy a whole great big bar of it, stick 10 foot, and do that. But I have no need for that, so we're going to go right here. We're going to go 24 inches. Or maybe 25. That'll give us quite a bit inside, so 25, almost. Right about there, be just fine. I want to have more. You're going to lose 3 inches, 3 1/4 inches right there. So, anyway, with that, okay, get the hacksaw out right here, and let me move and get reset up. Okay, there's 2 pieces. One this way, that's 25 inches long, give or take just a little bit. Now, okay, there's both of them cut. Got some for later. File these over here in a place I'll probably never remember where they're at. And pick these up. Now, here is the factory end. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. This is the factory end, what they come. Now, take a 3/8, your nut, and you see if it'll go on there. And yes, it does. Okay. This end, is the end you just cut. So it'd be nice and square. Sometimes they go on there with no problem, sometimes they have a problem. That one doesn't have a problem. So now, since it doesn't have a problem, I'm going to spin this down to about there. Add a washer to it. Take the bottom and start screwing it into here. Screw it level. Tighten this one down. Okay. Let's take the other one. Try it. That was the factory end, fit just like it's supposed to. Here is the end that we sawed off. And what do you know, it started. Now, if they don't start, you can simply take this and get a file, a good file, or a bad file, just a file. If you don't have a tap and die set, you can use this file like this. You can put this rod in your drill and hold it and go that way on it, and just put a little chamfer on the outside of it, and that'll smooth everything up for the start. Okay. If you got a belt grinder, you can do the same thing on a belt grinder. You could do it with a disc grinder. There's all kinds of ways to get it to do that. But it's lucky if you just saw it as square as you can, as flush, everything, then it will do pretty good usually. I've only run about, I don't know, somewhere around 40 million miles of this 3/8 all thread. And no, that wasn't just last week. It's been a long time. There ain't no telling how much of this I have actually used. So now we know the top starts because we actually put two on it. Okay, we're up here. So we, like I said, we know that the top starts because we actually put two on it. Now, this should go like this. It's the same distance apart at the top as it is at the bottom. It's supposed to be. Alright. Now, that's all you do. So it gets kind of wore in a little bit where you can slide it. Put that right about there. Take your 3/8 washers. Put one there and one there. Now, you can't go to infinity and beyond with this, but you can do a whole lot bigger knife, sword, whatever you need clamped in that. So, right here. Now, and sometimes the nuts have a little bit of trouble. It's nothing major, but sometimes they have a little trouble. Depends on how close it was to the die when they were, or to the tap when it was made, or okay. I have another one right there. Yep, this nut's got a little tighter tolerance on it. Well, it was probably made toward the first of the shift when they changed the tools out. But anyway, that will take it right on down. Now, right here. And is that is. Here is a 19, is a 9/16, 19. Okay, right here on the bottom of the Squeeze-O-Matic 900, you just tighten these up. Alright. Alright, now you don't need to be doing anything like that. There we go. That's got it tight. Now, there's your very own Squeeze-O-Matic 900. It will take this big old knife right here in stride. Now, like I said, you do not have to put that, and normally the handle would set down and the point would be at this, say for the plastic. That's all you do, get it down. Once it gets slickened up a little bit from use, it'll be just fine. And then you just tighten it down. And you put all the pressure on it and leave it for however long you want it. Till it cures, till you remember it, till the cows come home. It's your choice. But that's what this does right here. So, alright. Okay. Hang it back up over there. So, now this would be for the harpoon buoys right here. So, now what I said I was going to do with this, that you don't have to do, is take a piece of this comfort matting from Harbor Freight. And I'm going to cut a piece that is big enough to go in there. It's only about 3/8 thick, so now need to cut off a little bit more. I can. This is pretty, it's pretty stiff stuff. I mean, it's still soft, but I mean, it's no pushover. It's not like bedding foam or pillow foam or anything else like it. It is squeezable, but it's got some resistance to it. That's the reason I use it for anti-fatigue mats, like I've got on the floor down here that I'm standing on. That's what it is. It's pretty tough. So I don't know if I could do hours at a time standing here if I didn't have it or something. But anyway, there's that. And you, like I say, with my knife, I mean, it's nowhere near the quality of what I do now. Even though it was treated exactly the same way the knife blade was. It was heated, treated, and put in, I believe, no, this was not. I've done that before that. But anyway, give you an example, I'll show you how this works. A little better. Okay, I've got my knife in there, and you just push down on it like that right there, and that would hold it, and that will give it, I don't know if you can see that or not. I like to show it off if I can. And zoom you in so you can't see all of my dirty shop. Okay, about halfway in, right there now. Put it right there. See how it gives it just a little cushion there? Now all I gotta do is just run these nuts right down onto this on each side, then tighten them up accordingly till I get the desired pressure that I want and everything else. So hopefully this monkey tool will help you, your knife making, sword making, whatever making. It's just something to make that you can, it's a tool that you'll use from now on till you break it or it burns or whatever else. But right there, it's just as simple as that. Now for this material here, just a second. Like I said, this is pieces off of a hot tub, freestanding plastic hot tub. So that's what these are. But you can use, like I said, a cutting board. They're not expensive. If you want to buy a new one, just buy it and cut it down, cut one side of it off, and then make a couple of them. Make a short one and make a long one. Make 2 or 3 short ones. So in case you do a lot of this type of knife handles like here, like I do, that you'll have them. And usually I get everything, not always, but most of the time on a small one, I get it all put together. Before I put it together, I'll drill it, and then once I put the glue and everything in it, I'll stick the pins in there. Then there's no need of it. But others, when I want to do something and put a pin in later, then's when I do that. So that's what I'm going to have to do with a couple of them. They're just big tangs and everything. So, and some of them looks like they've been hardened, so I'll have to anneal that and go. But like I said, anytime that you can make a monkey tool to do something, this had no business at all being a Squeeze-O-Matic 900. These elements, they didn't know what they could be. So with a little help and virtually $10 worth of material and scraps, around and about, and even with that, even if you don't put a piece of plastic on there, it will work just fine. it will just work a little bit better with the plastic on it. So I tried it both ways, and I like it with the plastic on it better. But anyway, with that, with just a few scraps, a handful of dollars, and some imagination, and a little bit of tools. Now you could do everything with a bracing bit, all this other stuff. You could do it possibly without any electricity and everything else if you had a bracing bit, mechanical. But battery drills, you don't need a drill press. I could have done everything with a battery drill, even a cheap one. And I had the hole drill. I mean, you don't, the hole saw, I had that. So you don't have to buy that. Them things can be expensive. You don't have to do that. I just like doing it. Gets it in there, gives me an edge I can hook to and hold it, keep it from going one way or the other. But you don't have to do that. You can do it all with just putting a piece of matting down for it. I'm just showing you the way I done it. Like I said, just a handful of material, a few bucks, and a whole lot of imagination. There is no telling what you can build. So, till next time, this is Bobby Shields saying, get off your butt, go out to the garage, to the shop, make you a monkey tool, and do something. Yes, do something. And God bless.